performance. We'll visit the 4x4 Fun Fest, full of trucks made for show and others born for bashing in the 4x4 Extreme Challenge.
Great time! Great time!
So hang on, it's time for Hot Rod TV. Hi, welcome to the Hot Rod Shop. For years, hot rodders have used their trucks as daily drivers or as a means of getting their race cars to the track on weekends. Well, these days, though, trucks are a means of fun themselves. I mean, we like to dress them up and even power them up.
That's right, Joe, and I'll tell you, one of the best ways to pump up the power is with a supercharger. Now, superchargers have been around since the dawn of hot rodding. And most people, when they think of a supercharger, they think of that huge aluminum lung that's mounted on a race car. Well, for a race car, that's fine, but for street, hey, you got to cut a big hole in the hood, you got to do a lot of engine modifications. Well, we're going to bolt a Paxton Supercharger on this thing today. Now, a Paxton Supercharger is a centrifugal type supercharger. It also generates about 5 psi boost. It hides well under the hood, and it works well with stock engine components.
5 psi, about how much horsepower?
Well, stock engine like this, we're probably looking at 90 horsepower.
Hey, man, I'll take that. I guess we got to get the hood off.
Yeah.
Okay, meanwhile, I want to take you to a town called Sandwich, Illinois.
Sandwich, Illinois. Baloney. Let me get my wrenches.
This is for real. We're going to an event there where all kinds of trucks are shined up, showed off, and even bashed up in the name of four-wheeling fun. For many years in the rural heartland of America, trucks have been as common as frost on the pumpkin. And when the 4x4 Fun Fest comes to Sandwich, Illinois, well, a lot of the fancier daily drivers get gussied up for the big show and shine.
Everybody's got cars. No, there's not everybody that runs down the road in the one-ton crew cab family type vehicle dressed like this.
But while these 4x4 beauties are real showstoppers, others are heart-stoppers when it comes to the festival's main events, the Mud Bog and the Extreme 4x4 Challenge. Now, this is what four-wheeling's all about. Slinging mud, bashing bumpers, having fun, and pushing truck and driver to the limit. Come, easy go. Well, the Extreme Challenge ain't easy on the spinal column or the 4x4. After launching, you have to jump a ramp, or at least try. You bounce over a few large logs, smash into a mud hole or two, and if you don't get stuck along the way, you make a big finish and hope for the shortest time.
I would say this isn't really for the average guy who wants to take his daily driver out here because you do break stuff. The average guy's going to learn how to go four-wheeling by, you know, maybe getting hooked up with a local club and going with them on a couple more mild trail rides so you can learn how to attack some of these obstacles.
Definitely a little back pain on that one.
I can imagine. Well, one of the top finishers was Ken Steele in his Chevy Blazer. This was Ken's first shot at any type of four-wheel competition.
Yeah, you just got to go wild and hope to do all right. About what I did, just hold on and try to steer around the curves in there.
Now, if we were handing out our own Hot Rod TV awards, the driver of this truck would get one for the most parts lost on his Extreme Challenge run, and the driver of this Ford Bronco would get the Try Again award after hanging up on the ramp, but then going on to finish in a blaze of glory and bashed up bumpers, if not the best time.
Great time! Great time!
Wow, what a great place to open up a body shop. Or a chiropractor's office, for that matter. Ouch! Well, in any event, for drivers and spectators alike, the 4x4 Fun Fest lived up to its name. A lot of fun, and a rambunctious testament to the growing passion for four-wheeling.
It was fun. Most fun I've had with this truck, so I'll be back next year.
Man, those guys are really tough on their trucks, aren't they? You know, I bet if that guy with that Bronco had one of these superchargers, he'd have been able to jump over that mud hole.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, we'll get on with our own blower buildup right after this.
Not long ago, we loaned these mechanics Home Depot's Husky tools and asked them to give them a shot. We mentioned they were guaranteed forever. Now they won't give them back, and we don't really feel like arguing with them. Husky, the toughest name in tools, and only at the Home Depot.
Hi, I'm Buddy Parrott. You may not know it, but radiators can build up rust and sludge that will cause leaks and cooling system failure. So, if you don't want to end up like this fella, then use Restorer's Radiator Restorer, Sealer, Conditioner, and stop leaks fast. Radiator Restorer keeps radiators clean. It's environmentally safe and works with regular antifreeze. Don't be left behind. With Radiator Restorer, you'll stay on the road. Stop leaks in seconds with Radiator Restorer.
So you're building that deck with Time Life to help you along. You might want to add some built-in benches, page 50. How about a brick patio, guaranteed weed-proof, and a lot easier on your checkbook than some contractor would be.
Now with Home Repair, you get 2 books for $2. Order decks, porches, and patios for just $1.99 and get kitchens free.
Those new countertops sure look good, and doing it yourself probably saved a bundle. So you could do that built-in recycling bin she wanted. Step by step, Time Life makes it easy.
With Home Repair, you get professional results at do-it-yourself prices. Use your credit card to order decks for just $1.99 and get kitchens free.
Home Repair makes you a real hero around the house. So why don't you give them a call? They'd probably love to hear from you.
Call 1-800-779-8484 to get 2 books for only $2. Use your credit card to order decks, porches, and patios, and you'll get kitchens free. Or send check or money order for $1.99 plus $3.95 shipping to the address on your screen.
Hot Rod TV is brought to you by Husky, the toughest name in tools. Available only at the Home Depot. And by Mr. Gasket Company, America's leading supplier of performance parts.
Hi, welcome back to Hot Rod TV. A supercharger is what hot rodding is all about. More horsepower, more torque, and more performance.
Absolutely, Joe. Now, we're going to be bolting this supercharger kit onto a normally aspirated 350. Normally aspirated means that it actually relies on engine vacuum to draw in the air and fuel mixture. Now, once we bolt this supercharger on, what we're actually going to be doing is forcing that air and fuel mixture into the engine. We're going to create more cylinder pressure. It'll make a lot more horsepower.
That we are. Now, your kit comes with several components. These components here are for the induction. Now, this, of course, this is the heart of the system.
Absolutely. Now, this is actually the supercharger. What it does is it draws in the air through the center inlet. As the air travels around the circumference of the supercharger, by the time it gets to the outlet here, we're looking at 5 and 6 PSI. Now, this kit comes complete with everything you need. It's got all the brackets, the pulleys, the belts, all the hardware you need to bolt it in place, and it comes in at about $3,000.
Remember our nitrous project a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Now, nitrous is cheaper. It does create more power instantly, but you got to keep refilling those bottles. Now, air is free, and once you install this, got power indefinitely.
Absolutely. Here's an added benefit. This particular kit is emissions legal.
Now, this is about an 8-hour project, so we'd better get started.
Let's go.
Now, of course, we disconnected the battery, so now we want to take this air cleaner off. We'll disconnect it from the air box, and since we got a new air box coming, we'll just remove this old one. There we go.
Now, we're going to remove this upper fan shroud assembly. What that does, it allows us access to the belts and the pulleys. Now, I've already removed the tension off the idler pulley. That allows the belt to be taken off of the alternator drive system here. We'll just lay it there to get it out of the way for the time being. Now, we can start taking the alternator off. Now, there are a couple of wires that you want to make sure that you get out of the way before you actually remove the alternator from its mounts.
This special puller comes with the Paxton Supercharger kit. You're going to need it to get the power steering pulley off. How's the tool working, Chuck?
Hey, we're just about done with this thing. I think a few more cranks and we'll have this thing out of here. Remove the power steering pump and the aluminum bracket. Hey, we're going to get to the installation in just a minute, but before we do, we need to remove the crank pulley. Hey guys, now we're still going to use this stock pulley to drive the accessories, but the reason we took it off is we're going to add this special pulley here. Now the purpose of this pulley is to drive the Supercharger. It has its own serpentine belt system. Now look, it simply fits inside of the stock pulley. You line up the bolts there. These special bolts are included in the kit. Once I cinch them down, the interference fit locks everything in place.
Okay, while Chuck's doing that, I'm going to get started with this assembly plate. Now look at this thing. Now this is where we'll hang everything from the alternator to the power steering to, well, of course, our new blower. We're using these longer Allen head bolts that come with the kit to mount the power steering pump onto this plate. Once we're done with this, we can move on to the alternator.
Man, you know, Joe, that other stuff was fun, but this is the real horsepower hardware.
Yeah, Chuck, I can almost feel that extra 90 horses already. I guess we're halfway there, man.
Yeah, we'll be ready to mash the gas in just a little bit. All we've got left to do is upgrade the fuel system, modify that throttle body. We'll be ready.
All right. Well, I finally got this throttle body off, Chuck, and now since we got a blower, we'll have to make some modifications, such as that new throttle shaft.
Absolutely. Now, that's real important on a blown situation. But here's something that's just as important. Now, this is a fuel enrichment plate. And what it does, it has a couple of fuel injectors on it. They're going to introduce a lot more fuel into that small block. Now, we're going to show you how to put all this together right after this.
Later in the show, Real World Rides, as we present some of your Hot Rod viewer videos.
The Performance Edge comes from a century of horsepower delivered by Holley Performance Products. High performance for the next 100 years will still mean Holley, because wherever winners race, Holley's under the hood. Put Holley Performance under yours right now with Holley Systemax Performance Engine System, Holley Biomax Electric Fuel Pumps, HP Pro Series carburetors, and Holley's exciting digital projection fuel injection system. Remember, you want horsepower, you want Holley. Gardeners, if you love beautiful flowers and garden fresh vegetables, but hate the time and back-breaking work, call toll-free for the exciting news on the amazing Troy-built pony, including this free information package and details on our limited-time best offer of the year, on now. Inside, you'll discover how the Troy-built pony can save you time and work, building perfect planting beds, working rich organic matter into your soil, creating exciting new flower beds, and growing your own garden fresh vegetables all season long. Call now and get details on owning a Troy-built pony with no money down and no payments till April 1st, big cash savings, and this free Hiller furrower attachment. So if you want to learn more about the fast and easy Troy-built way, call for your free information package today.
For free details on our whole line of Troy-built tillers and our limited time only best offer of the year, call 1-800-908-5200. That's 1-800-908-5200. Call today.
A lot has changed since the last NHRA drag race. New cars, new teams, new drivers, new season. After 3 months of preparation, find out who came up with that little extra horsepower and who didn't. Historic Pomona Raceway hosts the only race of the year where aspiring rookies and reigning Winston champions start out even. It's the 37th running of the Chief Auto Parts Winter Nationals. Live tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TNN Motorsports.
Hot Rod TV is brought to you by K&N Filter Chargers, the high-flow filter with the 1,000,000-mile warranty. And by Holley and your local Holley dealers. Holley, the Performance Edge.
There, that's a lot cleaner. Hi, welcome back to Hot Rod TV and to our Supercharger project. Well, as Chuck and I told you, we're going to have to make some simple modifications on this throttle body unit. You see, we're going to introduce a lot more boost in here, so we're going to change out this throttle shaft. That way, when we use our new blower, that boost will stay where we need it. Now, when we remove and replace these throttle blades, we want to make sure we get them back in the right place, so let's put some index marks here and number them. We'll also put some marks here on this throttle arm and a little stop here. And this is where you come in, old buddy.
Oh, yeah. Always leave the dirty work for me. Hey, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to lock this thing down in the vise so that we can grind down all 4 of those throttle blade screws. We're going to use this little Dremel tool here, grind them down. Now, with the screws already ground down, the throttle blades are ready to come out of there. But before we can take the shaft out, the end of it's been peened over, so we need to file it off of there so we can take this throttle arm off. Hey, I finally got that throttle arm off there. I guess we're ready to drill the holes now so we can equalize the boost on this throttle shaft.
Okay. We'll use our fuel enrichment plate as a template. I'll just drop in these bolts. Now, notice we're leaving the old throttle shaft in here just in case this guy drills too far.
Oh, not a chance.
After drilling, we put in the new shaft and throttle blades.
Man, those throttle body modifications are a lot easier than I thought they were going to be.
It's not bad, and the payoff is going to be worth it.
I bet.
Look at this plate, man.
Man, look at the size of those injectors. They're going to throw a lot of extra fuel in here.
Hey, Chuck, I tell you what. While you reconnect the hoses and lines, I'll get started back here with this high-pressure fuel pump.
Good idea. I'll yell if I need you.
Okay. Hey, guys, here's a little hot rodding tip we'll share with you. We discovered that with our GMC truck, the best way to get to the fuel tank is remove the truck bed. We took out 8 bolts, lifted her up, set her aside, and now we got full access to the fuel tank. Oh, and remember, anytime you work around fuels, always use good common sense. Can't stress safety enough. First, we disconnect the lines to the sending unit so we can take out the intake pump assembly. Okay, now, there's the old fuel pump. We're going to replace it with this new high-volume pump to make sure our blower gets all the extra fuel it needs. It's a pretty simple swap, but remember, read all the detailed instructions for your application.
How you looking there, Joe?
Right on the money, Chuck.
Great. Now we get to deal with the electronics of this installation. Now, we've already found a suitable place on the firewall to mount this plate, but before we mount it, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here. This module here is actually the brains of this blower setup. We've got a map sensor and a relay. For power, we hook directly to the battery. Let me show you something here. See these connectors? They interface perfectly with the factory electronics.
Well, just a little more plumbing work and we'll be ready to fire this truck up. Can you give me a hand there, Chuck?
Oh, sure. No problem there, pal.
90 horsepower sounds impressive itself, but what really will make the difference is the instant throttle response.
Yeah, and you know, those 90 horses, they're going to be there whenever we need it. I'll bet even with a trailer, this thing will flatten the biggest hills.
Air sensors hooked up, no leaks. We've double-checked everything. I guess we're supercharged. Fire it up, Chuck. Next, a look at some real-world rides from around the country. And later, the latest in hot parts from the hot rod aftermarket.
Get in on the action. Call now for your free complimentary issue of Hot Rod magazine. For 50 years, Hot Rod's covered America's passion for everything in the world of high performance. The top street machines, muscle cars, classic rods and customs, plus the ultimate in engine tech. And Hot Rod entertains with the lifestyle, the racing, the personalities, and the events that make rodding hot. Get it all, including that special brand of how-to information that power enthusiasts have relied on for 5 decades. Call now and reserve your free introductory copy of Hot Rod. If you like it, you can order a 12-issue subscription for just $9.97. That's less than 85 cents a month for the ultimate performance magazine. It's easy. We'll bill you. If you choose not to subscribe, simply mark the bill cancel. You'll owe nothing and the free copy is yours with our compliments. Get up to speed. Call now for your free copy of Hot Rod magazine.
All
Are you ready for more action, more danger, more impact? Well, your wait is over. The hottest, most intense, extreme Crash Impact to Crash Impact 2. 70 minutes of explosive, heart-stopping crash action. You have to see to believe. All new crashes from Superbike, Harley Series, drag racing, stock cars, sprint cars, supercross, Indy cars, flat track, and more. All jam-packed on 2 tapes for only $19.95. Order now and get absolutely free the new Extreme Sports Virtual Reality, featuring insane extreme sports from around the world like you've never seen before. You'll get the all-new Crash Impact 2 plus the Extreme Sports video free. 3 tapes that'll blow you away. Guaranteed or your money back.
To order, call 1-800-203-1616. That's 1-800-203-1616. Or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Get ready. You're headed for a crash course in TNN Motor Madness every Friday night live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on TNN Motor Madness.
Hot Rod TV is brought to you by the Home Depot, your exclusive source for Husky tools, and by Super Pack, the new electric supercharger delivering power on demand.
Hi, welcome back. Part of the fun of hot rodding is showing off your prize ride to friends and, well, the world for that matter. So right now, let's look at some viewer video sent in by some of you who captured your hot rod treasures on tape. Dominic Masello from Grafton, Mass. sent us this video of his ride. A 1967 Chevelle SS, basically stock and basically gorgeous. Now, it's got that classic 375 horsepower engine, and as the old ads used to boast, the SS doesn't stand for standing still. Right, Dominic? In the world of street rods, you don't see many 1948 Anglia English Fords on the road these days. Bill Perdue of Portland, Tennessee sent us some home video of his, and it's quite an attention getter. Here's a sexy Ford Fairlane 427. This viewer video was shot by owner Damian Karpinski from Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's got a Holley 1000 high-performance carburetor, electric fuel pump, and Positraction rear. Great looking and truly built for speed. Now, last but not least, in fact, this may be our favorite, a 55 Chevy Bel Air owned by Les LeClaire of Bridgeton, Maine. After many changes, it now has a blown 427 motor, 2 Carter 750s, headers, and, well, it makes about 850 horsepower. Now, Les has won a trunk full of awards with this Bel Air, but rather than show it, he'd obviously rather boil the bolognas on it. Great sound. Les says it corners like a Monte Carlo, cruises like an Impala SS, and gets about, well, 9 miles a gallon. But when you've got a bad Bel Air beauty like this, who cares, right? Okay, if you'd like to share your favorite ride, send us your home video to Hot Rod TV, Box 681-688, Franklin, Tennessee 37068. And stay tuned, we'll have the latest in hot rod parts right after this.
Get a 30% power boost on demand. Hotter acceleration and stronger towing with a Super Pack electric supercharger. Super Pack eliminates turbo lag, spooling out up to 4 pounds boost in just 3/100ths of a second. Both on instant power to any car, diesel, or cycle engine with a high-speed compressor unit, controller, and bracket kit. Super Pack's warranted for 500,000 miles and costs about half the price of a regular supercharger. Call now for power on demand.
In the world of racing, you'd be hard-pressed to find more pounding, more rattling, and more punishment than the Score Desert Championship Series. It ain't pretty, but it's the extremes of off-road racing that help us build our longest-lasting battery ever, the Duralast battery from AutoZone. A battery so tough, so dependable, we back it with a 2-year free replacement guaranteed. The next time you hit the open road, don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery, power you can depend on.
The best night of television is on non-stop Fox. First, an avalanche buries Homer alive. Huzzah! A brand new Simpsons. Then, get back to nature.
Here it is, boys, the great outdoors.
A brand new King of the Hill. And a side of Agent Scully you've never seen before. Could get her killed. The X-Files. The best night of television is on non-stop Fox this week.
And now Hot Parts, a look at some of the newest accessories in high performance.
Hey guys, now headers are proven horsepower makers, and chances are they're probably one of the first modifications you made to your street machine. Now Jet Hot has come out with their new Pro Series of headers. Now let me show you something. Now they start out with heavy-duty 14-gauge tubing, and check this out. Every one of these ports is hand-finished.
Now, these laser-cut flanges are thicker than most, ensuring a good seal at the exhaust port. Now, over here, computer-controlled manual bending gives you that high-flow scavenging you want.
And, of course, they come in that high-tech Jet Hot coating. Now, they're going to set you back about $300 a set.
Now, only problem with headers is they create a lot of heat. Sometimes they can burn plug wire boots. Well, Jacobs has stepped up to beat the heat with their new ceramic 2000 plug wire sets.
Now, these special ceramic boots will withstand temperatures up to 2,000 degrees. That's a lot more than your car engine will ever put out. Plus, check this out. They're made out of the same material as the space shuttle tiles.
Their metal core conductors give you the highest spark energy, and that's with suppression of radio noise. They'll cost you about $180 a set.
Now, the problem with most stock dampers is they operate within a fairly narrow RPM range. Now, this new street damper from Vibratech effectively eliminates those unwanted vibrations throughout the entire RPM range.
Now, if you're a hot rodder, you're probably buzzing your engine pretty good, so this is especially important to you. How do they do it? Well, there's a special viscous fluid in here which cancels out the vibrations.
Now, you're going to see extended crankshaft and bearing life, plus you're probably going to pick up a little bit of horsepower and torque along the way. The best part, though, is you're going to see consistent performance throughout the entire engine RPM range. Now, this thing is currently available for small block Chevrolets in a 6 3/4 inch diameter, which means you're going to be able to use that stock timing tab. Check this out, though. They've even degreed the outside edge for you. Now, this thing is going to cost you about $189.
Okay, that's Hot Parts. Now a look at next week's Hot Rod TV. We kick off Project Pony, turning a mundane Mustang into a solid street pounder, first with a catback system. Then we'll show you how to bring new beauty to a classic old muscle car with custom carpeting. Plus a special profile on hot rodding hero Vic Edelbrock Jr. as we go behind the scenes at his high-performance headquarters. Plus, we'll take the mystery out of camshafts, how they work, and how to pick the right one for your rod. So we'll see you next time.
And remember, high-performance fun is what this show is all about.
In Fisherman Television, next TNN Outdoors.